For over 1,000 years, two of the most powerful men in Christianity have stood on opposing ends of a spiritual battlefield. On one side, the Pope of Rome, known to billions as the Vicar of Christ. On the other, the Patriarch of Constantinople, spiritual leader of the Eastern Orthodox world. But how did one church split into two powerful empires? Why is there still no unity, even after centuries of attempts? And what role does Patriarch Bartholomew play in this ancient rivalry today? This isn't just history. It's a living drama, full of power struggles, councils, excommunications, and modern diplomacy. Let's journey deep into 1,000 years of Christian division and discover the secrets behind the rivalry that still shapes Christianity. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep Christian stories and forgotten truths. Chapter 1: The Church That Was Once One. Before there was East and West, there was one church. Founded on the teachings of Christ and the Apostles, the early church flourished across the Roman Empire. The Bishop of Rome was highly respected, as were the bishops of Constantinople, Alexandria, Ansh, and Jerusalem. But as centuries passed, political power shifted, and tensions brewed. Language, culture, and theological focus began dividing East and West. Latin in the West. Greek in the East. Rome saw itself as the center of unity. Constantinople saw itself as the new Rome. The seeds of rivalry had been planted. The Pope grew in political power through the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, while the Patriarch of Constantinople rose in status within the Byzantine Empire. What started as small disagreements over church practices became deeper issues of authority. The East saw the Pope as first among equals. The West saw the Pope as the supreme head of the Church. It was only a matter of time before these visions collided. Chapter 2: The Great Schism of 1054. The year 1054 marked the dramatic turning point in church history. What had been growing tension finally erupted into formal separation. It started with debates over unleavened bread, the Filioque clause, a dispute in the Nicene Creed, and who had final authority. Pope Leo IX sent Cardinal Humbert to Constantinople to resolve issues with Patriarch Michael Cerularius. But instead of peace, both sides ended up excommunicating each other. One of the most tragic moments in Christian history had arrived. This event, called the Great Schism, officially divided the Church into Roman Catholic in the West, Eastern Orthodox in the East. For Patriarch Bartholomew, this schism is not just a historical moment, it's a wound he's tried to heal through dialogue with modern popes. But unity remains elusive. Want to understand the full weight of this? Hit subscribe, and let's go deeper. Chapter 3: The Crusades, Salt on an Open Wound. The schism could have been healed until the Fourth Crusade. In 1204, Western Crusaders sacked Constantinople, looting churches, destroying icons, and desecrating the Hagia Sophia. For Eastern Christians, this wasn't just betrayal. It was unforgivable. The Pope may not have ordered it, but his inability to stop it made things worse. Eastern Orthodoxy never forgot. Even in the 21st century, Patriarch Bartholomew has referenced the pain of the Crusades in his speeches. The wounds of the past are alive in Orthodox memory. Unity talks today often struggle under the weight of these historical injustices. The rivalry is not just theological, it's emotional, cultural, and historical. Subscribe for more truth behind the scars of Christian history. Chapter 4: Doctrinal Differences That Divide. Beyond politics and war, the Pope and the Patriarch differ on core teachings. These include papal infallibility, Catholic belief vs. Orthodox rejection. Original sin, interpreted differently. Immaculate Conception, a Catholic dogma not accepted in Orthodoxy. Filioque clause, addition to the Creed by the West, rejected by the East. To Pope Francis, these may seem negotiable for unity. But to Patriarch Bartholomew, they represent centuries of Western overreach. Orthodoxy values tradition deeply. It doesn't change fast. The Pope's ability to declare new dogmas is seen as dangerous to that tradition. The rivalry is not about pride, it's about two very different views of what Christianity should be. Writing hand # don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into spiritual truth. Chapter 5, Patriarch Bartholomew, a Voice of the East. Who is Patriarch Bartholomew? Often called the Green Patriarch for his eco-activism, he's also a powerful spiritual leader. Based in Istanbul, formerly Constantinople, Bartholomew I is the 270th Archbishop of Constantinople. Though he doesn't have the political power the Pope holds, he has become a global religious voice, especially in Eastern Europe and among Orthodox communities worldwide. He's pushed for ecumenical dialogue with Rome, Orthodox unity among fractured national churches, a peaceful resolution to religious tensions. But he's also been firm, unity must not come at the cost of Orthodox identity. If I want to know what Bartholomew really thinks of the Pope, hit subscribe to uncover more. Chapter 6, Pope Francis, a Bridge Builder. Pope Francis has reached out to Bartholomew more than any pope in recent history. They've met, prayed, and issued joint declarations on climate change, peace, and Christian persecution. In fact, Bartholomew attended the Pope's inaugural Mass, an historic gesture. Yet even with all this goodwill, full communion is still far off. Why? Francis sees the Pope's authority as divinely instituted. Bartholomew sees it as one part of a greater church body. This clash in vision prevents the final step. Still, Francis continues to build bridges, believing love will pave the path to unity. Chapter 7, The Ukraine Crisis, New Tensions. In 2018, Bartholomew granted independence, autocephaly, to the Orthodox Church of Ukraine. This angered the Russian Orthodox Church, which broke communion with him. The Vatican watched silently, but tension soared. The Pope did not openly support Bartholomew's decision. Why? Because it risked dividing Orthodoxy further. It also showed that Bartholomew's influence is powerful, but controversial. This move deepened the divide not just within Orthodoxy, but also complicated his relationship with Rome. The Pope wants peace. Bartholomew wants reform. The rivalry, far from dead, is being rewritten in our time. Chapter 8, Can Theology Heal the Divide? Many hope that theology, honest discussion and shared study, can restore unity. But it's not easy. The Catholic Church insists on the primacy of the Pope. The Orthodox Church insists on equality among bishops. Can the two ever agree? In 2007, the Ravenna document offered hope. It stated the Pope had a primacy, but left room for interpretation. Bartholomew agreed cautiously. Others in Orthodoxy rejected it. Theologians now tread a fine line between hope and heresy. The rivalry persists, not because of hatred, but because each side fiercely guards what it believes is true. Chapter 9, Hope in Humility. Despite centuries of rivalry, there's real hope. Bartholomew and Francis share a deep personal respect. They've spoken of forgiveness, reconciliation, and mutual love. For the first time in history, a pope and a patriarch may be walking toward each other, slowly but surely. The path is rocky. But the world watches, hoping that unity will shine as a witness to faith. If humility wins over pride, history could be rewritten in our time. Redheart # subscribe and pray with us for unity in the body of Christ. Chapter 10, What if unity happens? Imagine this, a united Christian church, East and West, side by side. A pope and a patriarch sharing communion. A new chapter in church history. But what would it cost? And who would lead? These questions terrify traditionalists on both sides. Yet, younger Christians increasingly ask, why are we still divided? Patriarch Bartholomew and Pope Francis may not see full unity in their lifetime, but they are laying a foundation. A foundation of dialogue, respect, and love. Their 1,000-year rivalry could become the greatest reconciliation story ever told. Megaphone, don't just watch history. Be part of it. Subscribe now for more Christian stories that matter.